Going live.
It's 6:03. Go, go, go.
We did it.
Welcome back, 603rd Company. It's been like a month.
It's been a while. Do we even remember how to do this?
I don't know. Well, Molly almost dropped the set right before.
I did not almost drop
just minutes ago. It was turned around the other way, and then Molly was like, we just need to, it's in my light, and wanted to move it and started to rotate it until the front part of the stand went off the table, and fortunately I was there to catch it.
The set is too big.
And I told Molly, if you're going to break it, make sure we're streaming.
He was like, might as well go live now if you're about to break all the Legos.
Don't break it off camera. We're not going to go viral that way.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I don't want it broken at all. But if you're going to break it, everyone should be able to see it.
True. What's up, everybody? What's up to our channel members? Let's see here. John DeLong, Darth Nicholas, Gio Flores, Jeannie from Teeny. Hello, hello, hello.
Happy birthday, Jeannie. I think two days ago.
Yeah, from the Force Center stream. I think that was announced that it was her birthday. So happy birthday. What's up, Sean Sully?
Hey, Sean.
He says we breaking things? No.
Almost.
No. Where was it? I just saw something I was going to read. Oh, Anthony Frushauer asks, what's the story behind the 6:03 timing? The story is I'm always late to live streams. And so we just made it a thing now that we were going to starting at 6:03. That's it.
That's it.
But then we made a whole backstory about like the 603rd.
A lot of it has just come from the Venator, really. Like we made it the 603rd Company, and we named the ship the Dark Lighter. That has nothing to do with 603. I just wanted everyone to remember.
Right. What's up, Q&A props?
Hey.
Do we have our...
Now we have two.
I'll be very gentle with this.
This is fine. You're not going to break this.
Q&A props.
It's because it's sturdy.
Made this.
Sturdy construction.
It is. It's Dagon Gara's lightsaber. I got this for Alex for Christmas.
And we've got the magnets downstairs looking good on the fridge.
Hilo. What did you get? What did you get? Nope. Can't have that. Hilo just loves to pull stuff in here that he can chew on loudly that he's not supposed to have. Oh, thanks, Darth Patty. He said, love the tea. I had to bring out one of my Grogu shirts with all the exciting Grogu news. Yeah, how was everyone's holidays? How was your New Year? We haven't done a live stream in quite a while, but we had a nice long break.
I think it has been almost exactly a month.
Yeah. And I was so ready to get this thing out of the floor of my office because I accidentally kicked it once, and I'm just like terrified that I was going to break it.
Another time you almost broke it off camera.
Oh, Q&A Props asks, how are the Stroop waffles? They are delicious.
It's funny, we have a friend who...
I had a craving for one earlier today, and I was like just about to work out, and I was like, I better not.
We have a friend who really likes them, and every time we go to our yearly winter cabin with our big group of friends, he always brings Stroop waffle. So we had just had some, and then you sent more, and we were like, great.
But I never really ate them when he brings them, because like he's kind of pushy about it. He's like, eat them, please eat them. But if they're sent to us, I'm like, hell yeah. Also, I think they were different. They tasted different. Do they all have caramel in the middle?
I don't know. I'm not the person to ask. Q&A Props is.
They do sell them here, but I don't know how good they are.
They might not be like authentic.
Yeah. Rush Hour. Okay, so Fresh Hour. Gotcha, Anthony. All right, let's get us into some super chats. So we've already got a couple here. First one up from Paul Saley. Thoughts on the upcoming Episode 1 release for PS5? I used to play it all the time as a kid, hoping for a live stream once it's released. May the Force be with you. We are definitely going to live stream that.
I'm planning on streaming it.
I've never played it, and I am very curious as to what it's like.
I don't think it's a good game. Like, it's kind of like Jedi Power Battles in that, like, man, I loved it growing up. I think I'm going to play it again and be like, oof, this doesn't hold up. But I played that game so much. So, yeah.
I'm excited to see what it's like.
I'm probably going to try to stream it on Wednesday. It comes out on Tuesday, so that'll give me enough time to get it downloaded, make sure it's working. And then Wednesday, I'd probably have time to stream it.
Yay! So many streams. We don't have a new show or new movie yet to talk about.
Yeah, so we're just going to stream the re-release of the Phantom Menace game. Dark Forces comes out next month.
We have some fun ideas for more fun streams in the future that aren't necessarily gaming or Lego.
But yeah, that game, I had a chat with someone on Twitter yesterday about it as well, that once you get to Mos Espa, you can play it like GTA. I played it like that before I even knew what GTA was. It's just like you can be a violent Jedi and you can just cut down a merchant and then everyone in the town will attack you.
That's crazy. Like I asked you yesterday, I was like, wait, do they come after you?
Oh yeah.
And you were like, yes.
It's kind of like in Zelda when you attack the chickens and then all the chickens swarm you and you try to survive as long as you can. It's that. I'm not proud of it, but I'm excited to do that again.
Hi, Brian and Brian's students. Stop driving Brian crazy. He works hard.
Did he ask you to say that?
He didn't ask, but he just said in parentheses, they're driving me crazy. So I took it upon myself.
I hope he wanted you to read that.
Well, if he's going to play this for his students, he's got to be ready for surprise. I saw another thing on here that I was going to read quickly. Are we going to do it before and after when we rearrange the background? Yeah, we can. We were actually going to do that or start kind of doing that tomorrow. So I will try to remember to take a before picture.
It's basically going to be, it's still going to have these shelves and stuff. We're just going to try to like rotate everything over here. So there's going to be like a corner area. That's the hope.
Leftist Hominid has the next super chat. After Old Din became a knight, After Old Din became a knight, Sabine became Sabine's Padawan. Should have Grogu become... the Yoda speak. I'm not doing it. Mandalorian master with Mandalorian apprentice. I didn't understand any of that.
Once Din is old and a knight, and Sabine becomes a knight, should
should Sabine
Padawan
train Grogu?
What? This is even more nonsensical than normal.
No, should Grogu have become Sabine's Padawan? I think it's saying.
Oh, okay.
No.
Nah, I think Grogu walked away from the Jedi stuff. I don't think he's going back to it. I mean, I think he's going to use the Force, but I don't think he's going to become a Padawan.
Nah, especially not Sabine. Like, Sabine is nowhere near ready to, like, train someone else.
Once she's a knight.
But, like, Grogu's older and wiser than she is.
That's true. Well, I don't know about wiser, but...
I think he is. He's just mischievous and sassy.
So is Sabine.
That's true. They're a perfect couple then. Darth Nicholas, thanks for being a Biggs Mega Fan member for 3 months. Hilo, you okay? What's your hottest Star Wars take at the moment? Mine is that the Dark Horse Clone Wars comics from Star Wars Republic era are better than Clone Wars. Darth Nicholas, I don't think that's a hot take for you.
That doesn't feel like a hot take coming from you.
Maybe a hot take overall. The comics being better than the entirety of the Clone Wars. My hottest Star Wars take? I'm not good at having hot takes.
I guess like just the one that's on my mind is that I don't think I'm as excited for The Mandalorian and Grogu as most people are. But I am definitely, the more it's sitting with me, the more I'm thinking about it. After listening to Force Centered, Joseph Scrimshaw always has great ideas about like the big themes and like what any story can explore. And I'm feeling better about it. But my initial reaction was not like a ton of excitement. It was happiness, but I'm like, compared to the other three, it's the movie I'm looking forward to the least, I guess.
Sure. My hottest Star Wars take. Can that be like a prediction?
I guess. I don't make the rules.
I think The Acolyte is gonna be the best live action Star Wars show ever. Like better than all of the rest. Just from what I've seen so far, I'm confident in saying that. And we've only seen what they showed at Celebration.
I hope you're right. I think there's a chance for that. I agree.
It has, I think my favorite is still probably Andor. So it'll be hard to beat that, but I kind of think it will.
I think it's going to it gave me kind of like Andor production vibes. It felt like that level of quality and we only saw like a minute and a half, but just the way the sets looked, the way the costumes, it just reminded me of how Andor feels when you watch it. But I think Acolyte's going to do a much better job of balancing the seriousness with the pulpy fun. Like, that was the big criticism for Andor I saw, was just like, there's not that many aliens. It's just not that weird. And you kind of want that wacky, funny side too. But the Acolyte was full of aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
It did have a pretty serious tone though.
There's so many Jedi in it. It's like the closest thing to what we've seen in the prequels as far as just the sheer amount of Jedi characters. And there's some really big names in it. I don't know. I think it's going to blow some of the other stuff out of the water.
It's easily what I'm most excited for this year.
Bradshaw Studio, thanks for the super chat and the smiley face with sunglasses.
Oh, that's all it was. Like, it was a super sticker?
It was a super sticker.
Oh, okay.
I think, well, did those move? I have to scroll all the way back up in the chat to see if it moves. I thought it was just an emoji. I don't even know. What is a super sticker? I'm so old.
I'm just building, like, plates, it looks like now, for the ship. So it's going to be a lot of gray again.
Oh boy. A lot of big gray pieces. Alexis Cladis has the next super chat. I hope I said your name right. Looking for the last 2 shards for that platinum in Survivor. And now there's a stream. That's a good Star Wars day. Happy New Year, guys. Keeping the positivist. Thank you.
Those priorite shards. If you haven't gotten it, I'm pretty sure there's something you can unlock that will tell you where on the map they are.
That would help.
I think it's in Doma's shop. I think you can spend I'm not positive, but I think you can spend priorite to find more priorite.
Okay. That sounds very, like, Bitcoin.
It's like in Quacks of Quedlinburg when you spend a ruby. You spend 2 rubies to make a ruby.
Oh, okay. I think that's a scam somehow. But thank you for the super chat. Happy New Year. Enjoy the game. I hope you find those last 2 shards.
Yeah, enjoy your last bit of time with it, because I honestly, like, once I found everything and I platinumed the game and there was nothing else to do, I was like, I'm kind of sad.
Power Rangers Explained. Thank you for the next one. It's my half birthday today. Happy half birthday. Are we doing half birthdays now? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Sure.
I don't even know
Happy half birthday.
When my half birthday is. I don't want to know. I don't do birthdays anymore.
It's November 1st. You just add 6 months.
Oh, okay. Smarty pants. I don't do birthdays anymore.
That's not true.
I don't age anymore. I've given it up.
She says she doesn't do birthdays, but then when May rolls around, it's birthday month.
I'm like, hey, it's birthday month. Everything is what I want to do for a whole month. That's just what happens. What's up, Crystal Kyber? Half birthdays are good for those of us with birthdays right during the holidays. That is
yeah, that makes sense.
True. That is true. Jason Kenobi has the next super chat. I keep hearing more speculation on the Night Sisters. Do you think Peridia was jail for the Night Sisters? Straight to jail.
Right away. If you resurrect the dead, straight to jail.
I don't think it was...
You beef up a Dathomirian, straight to jail, right away.
I don't think it was a jail just because of, like, all the statues and stuff around, but...
Well, Morgan said it's where they came from.
Yeah, like where they originated from.
That's all... I don't know. I agree that it's a little up in the air right now, and I'm kind of confused. But I was assuming that they are from Peridia. That maybe... But it's like those 3 seemingly new Talzin. Did Talzin come from Peridia? Is she an ancient being? I guess we don't know how old she is. Like, I don't know. I have questions.
Well, what were they called? The ones that were there?
The Great Mothers? The
Great Mothers. So maybe they were like a special kind of Night Sister.
I mean, they definitely seemed like I don't think Morgan Elsbeth was a Dathomirian Night Sister. But I think that they allowed her to say the words, take the pledge.
Yeah.
I forget what they called it. But, like, I think Night Sister is kind of like being a Jedi. Mm-hmm. Or a Mandalorian. Like, it's a creed, not a race.
Yeah.
But the Great Mothers all seem to be Dathomirian.
Mm-hmm. But they're not from Dathomir.
Well, that's just what I'm calling them because... But yeah, I agree. It's confusing right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested to see more of them.
I'm just happy they're around. That was one of my favorite moments in Ahsoka, was to show up there and see, because I was like, okay, it's cool that Morgan is a Night Sister and doing dark magic and stuff, but seeing them, I was like, now we're talking.
Let's get into it. I want to see Dathomir so bad. I'm so excited for season 2. Sean Room says, does the existence of Great Mothers imply the existence of just okay mothers? Sure.
I guess. I assume that's just like their magical title. There's probably mothers. Mother Talzin. Although I kind of get the sense she was a great mother too. But maybe it's like Night Sisters. So sisters, and then you get elevated to motherhood.
I wonder if we would ever get like the origin story of Mother Talzin. Probably not, but that would be really cool.
Maybe as we keep on... Well, maybe as we keep on learning about the Night Sisters in general.
Mm-hmm. What's uh-oh?
It's fine.
Oh.
Not a big deal. I just swapped 2 pieces.
Ooh, this is timely. Dark Car has been a big mega fan for 8 months, so thank you for that. And they said, thank you guys for getting me into For All Mankind. I'm 2 seasons in and loving it. So the finale of the current season is tonight.
Gonna watch that after this. We're gonna stream, we're gonna eat dinner, and then we're gonna cry about space people.
Will we cry or
We'll see.
Scream and yell? I don't know. If I didn't
we'll
cry,
probably be going no. That's usually what I do.
I didn't cry in the last episode, so I don't know what would make me cry in this one, but we'll see.
The last episode wasn't sad, but this season hasn't been as...
Something shocking happened at the end.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh right.
No spoilers, but I'm glad that you're enjoying the show. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend. It's on Apple TV. It's just really, really good. I still prefer the earlier seasons to what we're getting now, but it's still very good.
2 and 3, or 1 and 2 are my favorite seasons, but I'm still just like, I'm hooked on the show, and I'm going to watch it till the end.
Yeah. MC Lego Boy says, can't see anything Alex is doing. I mean, you can't really see what he's doing normally, but yes, the ship is kind of in the way. We don't have a ton of room up here. I guess we could just move it onto the floor if you can't see us adding to it anyways.
It might fit this way, actually.
It's so big. It barely fits on this table.
I'm not sure which way I'm going to be building soon, but...
I really wish we could have
that'll fit.
Kept the Lego cam. We had a little...
I mean, we have it. It just
doesn't
work quite right.
It didn't want to work a lot of the time. We had a GoPro hooked up as like a little second camera, but it hated being on for a whole live stream. But maybe we were doing something wrong. Lightspeed Bear, thank you for being a Biggs Mega fan for 16 months. Who's your favorite, Crix Medine or Bix Kayleen? I have a special place in my heart for Crix Medine.
You do love Crix.
He's got such a stupid face. And a
talking about his beard?
But his whole face looks stupid because of his stupid fake beard.
Poor Dermot.
Plus his name is Dermot.
That's the actor's name.
Oh. What's his first... What? Oh, Crix is his
Crix.
first name. All right. Well, I hope the actor likes having that name. Is Bix Colleen Bix from
Andor?
Andor?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was her last name.
Well, Bix actually, has more character to her. So I guess I'm going to go with Bix. But I also have a place in my heart for Crix. There are like multiple video game missions where you help him out. There's Dark Forces. There's Rogue Squadron. He's in the video games a lot.
Crix's comb over was legendary. It was. I did really like Bix's character, though. We were in the same room as her for the Andor premiere.
That's true.
And every time I saw her, I was like, she's so pretty.
We kept our cool. I'm proud of us.
Sometimes I wonder if us keeping our cool makes us look mean. Because I'm just like trying to have a super straight face. If there's ever like a celebrity near me, I'm just like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah, no one kicked me out.
Stephanie Z, thank you for the next one. First off, shout out to Molly as a fellow female Star Wars fan who rules. Thank you. We exist. question for both of you. What are some of your favorite Star Wars Lego sets? So the very first completely full Lego set that I ever built by myself, I think, was the Grogu one.
Oh yeah, the
little
full,
10-inch tall Grogu, the one that you can open and close his mouth.
Was that your favorite one?
It was one of my favorites, but it was exciting because that was the first one that I fully built by myself.
I think I'm still gonna go with the Falcon. That one was just a monster to build, but it has so much fun detail to it. I like the UCS sets a lot, but that one just seems like it's on another level.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking at it compared to the AT-AT or the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a pain, like all those tiny little pieces to put on, but it looks so good in the end.
I think I just really like the little 10-inch ones that you can kind of move around. Because the other one I really like is the Porg.
Yeah.
That is also about this tall, and you can also open his mouth.
You just like little dudes.
Little guys.
Whose mouths open.
This is just a little guy. I mean, I like the big sets too, but usually he builds those because, I could never.
I really like the X-Wing. The new UCS X-Wing they did was really cool. Because anything that, has moving parts is fun. So the wings opening and closing.
Ooh, not Star Wars related, but we just got the little brick heads of Gandalf and the Balrog recently, and we built those on
New Year's Day
while we were doing our big Lord of the Rings rewatch. And the brick head for Balrog is one of the absolute cutest Lego creations I have ever seen. It is adorable.
He doesn't look mean at all.
He doesn't.
He doesn't look like Durin's Bane.
He's got a little tail and little wings. So cute. I just want to put a little sweater on him.
I'm sure that's all he wants too.
Well, I'm sure he gets hot.
Well, I mean, he just wants to be loved
breathes
and
fire.
Understood. He's been lonely, stuck down in the mountains for so long.
It's true.
First person he sees gets his sword struck by lightning and then stabs him in the heart. Rude.
He's like, hey, I was just trying to tell you not to go that way.
I was just trying to get you outside.
It's not safe in here. You know that. Joel Davis, thank you for the next super chat. Rumor Mill says Mando season 4 may still happen, and the movie will be what the final episodes would have been. Thoughts?
Huh.
So are we assuming we'll get season 4 before the movie?
Yeah, so that rumor would be that maybe we'd get 6 episodes or something, and then they'd put a movie out. That's interesting, if that's true. I don't know that I just don't pay any attention to the rumor mill until Lucasfilm says something, but that is an interesting idea.
I had not considered the movie coming out after a season 4 at all. I just that didn't even pop into my head at all.
I'm definitely of the mind that season 4 is going to happen, whether or not it's before or after. I just assumed it would be movie and then season 4 would come out the next year. Mm-hmm. I don't think the show is ending or anything. But that's an interesting thought. I like that idea.
They might film the movie essentially while they're filming season 4, and that way they could release them both side by side.
I mean, I think that would be the plan, and that would be interesting to say all right, you watched it. It definitely wouldn't feel like a complete season of television. There is that. So it would just be okay, you watched 6 episodes, and now if you want the climax, you got to go to the theater and see it. That feels a little annoying, but if you were just paying for Disney Plus.
Yeah. We talk about the Mando movie a good bit in the Q&A.
That's
coming
just
out
about all we talk about.
Saturday. But I kind of like, in my mind, I'm envisioning the story that they had for Mando and Grogu and Luke in Book of Boba Fett. If we had gotten that as a movie separate from Book of Boba Fett, that would have been really cool. So if there's like a specific adventure story that they want to tell for Mando and Grogu before season 4, I don't mind if it's a movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, oops.
But so what was the article that said said season 4 is still happening?
Deadline just said a 4th season is still in the works or something like that. So, yeah. I certainly don't think there will not... I still think there will be a season 4. It just depends on when it is.
Hmm. Next super chat is from Jared Haskell. When in the timeline would we see live action Cal? Could be if they ever do continue the story of like the hidden path people that we saw in Obi-Wan. He could be part of that network.
I'm doing some math real quick.
Gross.
Cameron Monaghan. Ugh, I just realized Cameron Monaghan is 6 years younger than we are.
Oh.
Which just... It's one of those things when you realize, like, oh, your heroes are younger than you. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not right.
And then you're like, what have I done with my life?
So he is 31-ish. Yeah, he's 31. And in the game, I think he's 24. So...
He could pass for a lot younger than 31, though.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like me. He stays out of the sun. His skin is like...
He's a ginger. Yeah, he's got to keep himself safe.
Translucent.
You redheads. So I was like, okay, so maybe they would have him in that area, though, which would be around the time of A New Hope, which I don't really think they would do that. But pre-A New Hope, if they did a hidden path story or something, I could see it.
Yeah.
Because you're right. He looks younger than 31, so I should have expected that news.
Commander Jeff has the next super chat. Finally listened to Light of the Jedi over Christmas. Loved how one of the central premises of the book is we don't know what hyperspace is or how it works. Isn't that funny? Like, they're just like, we're using this, but it's kind of like magic. I don't know.
Yeah. They go into it more in future High Republic books, as in they talk about how they don't know fully how it works and the consequences of that, which I liked.
Yeah. But I'm glad you listened to it. The audiobooks are great. Highly recommend. I have been reading up a storm.
It's been Molly's already read an entire book in 2024.
A non-Star Wars book, but that was like one of my resolutions of the new year was to read more, but specifically to read more non-Star Wars books because we do so many Star Wars things that like sometimes I need to be able to get excited about content that isn't Star Wars, that also isn't like a reality show or like something silly that we're just watching on TV. So I've talked about it enough to you and to all of our friends, but I started reading the ACOTAR books, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I finished the first one yesterday. I'm on the second one now, and it's great. Highly recommend.
And I've read a Star Wars book.
And yeah, like we got early copies of 2 upcoming Star Wars books that are just staring me down, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I want to read this instead.
Oh, I read that Agatha Christie book too.
Oh yeah,
Which was
Alex
nice and short.
reads non-Star
That's true.
Wars stuff
I forgot.
from time to time. What's up, Maddie Gunner?
Hey, Maddie.
Sean, I think you would like the High Republic books. Start with Light of the Jedi.
Who's asking?
Sean Sully.
Sean hasn't read the High Republic books? What a fake fan.
A lot of people haven't.
Yeah, but Sean's a close friend, so I'm allowed to call him a fake fan. I'm allowed to roast him. It's fine if you haven't read the High Republic books.
I haven't even read all of them. Am I a fake fan?
No. Sorry, it was just a gut reaction to
I know,
lash
I
out
know.
at a friend. I don't know what that says about me, but
It is like people that we know that like Star Wars that read a lot. I'm like, oh, you haven't
well, yeah,
read
like
the High Republic?
he'll read The Wheel of Time, which are like these 1,000-page books.
Oh,
but
jeez.
he has no time for Light of the Jedi. Okay.
Oh, Maddie wants to know how the Motion City soundtrack show was. It was really fun.
It was great. They performed... Uh-oh. It's that time again. They performed their first album from start to finish, and then for their encore did like 8 more songs, which is exactly what we thought they were going to do. And I'm happy they did it, because that's how they did Commit This to Memory last year. And I really like that trend of like, we're going to play the entire album and then we'll play some other hits.
If it's that album's like anniversary,
Yeah.
that's what people want and expect. And like most of the people there for those kinds of shows are like our age or maybe even a little older. And they're like, let's get this on the road, guys. Let's go. Let's hear the album. It's great. Let me go home.
I did love Justin, the lead singer, asked like, how many of y'all are 80s kids, 90s kids? And they're like, how many of y'all are Zoomers? And a few people cheered, and he was like, how do you even know who we are?
Why are you here? He was like, oh, I'm glad you're here, but why?
How'd you find out about us?
It was good. And then Alex got 2 vinyls from them, which was
Yeah,
cool.
got some merch. And then we got to hang out with Tony, the drummer, after the show, who's a big old Star Wars fan. Always great to see him.
Oh, Sean says he read Light of the Jedi and Into the Dark.
That's what
Just
I thought.
Not any others after that.
Oh, okay.
I deserve the public shaming.
The Rising Storm is awesome. At least continue on with that one.
Yeah. I can't remember if I liked that one or Fallen Star. I think I liked Fallen Star better.
I think you liked Fallen Star more.
Deidre Russell, thank you for being a Biggs mega fan for 13 months. Hope you guys had a lovely, restful time away. How long did Molly squee when Din and Grogu's movie was announced? It was probably more of an internal squee because I was like, oh my god, wait, oh my god, what does this mean? Wait, and
You
I like
texted me first,
yeah,
and you were just like,
I was like, they just released news about a movie, and I don't know. It took me a few minutes to get excited about it because I just had so many thoughts going through my head of like, is this going to be what season 4 was supposed to be? Blah, 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 blah. But then I just realized that we're going to get to see Grogu on the big screen. And I was just like,
What really got you excited is the potential of him on the red carpet.
in the red
And
carpet.
put him on a little tux. I kind of really hope they do that and just have someone in a green jumpsuit behind him puppeteering him.
Sorry, I gotta read this. Matt Lang said, Alex surprised he's older than Cameron while reading Agatha Christie and collecting vinyls. Got him.
That's good. I've been roasted.
You taken your Metamucil yet today, Poopa?
That's funny.
Very true. Jane Dalton, thanks for the next super chat. Curious what y'all think of the Mando. What y'all think the Mando film will be and should be? A self-contained adventure or the first part of a big Mandoverse story? Also, do y'all plan on doing commentaries for the rest of Mando season 3?
Oh God.
Did we not finish that?
No. Yes, we.
Oh my God, I almost asked you yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, if we had more commentaries to do. Because I was like reading for most of the day. And I was like, should we be doing something else?
You can look at the Patreon. You can figure things out too.
I
but
cannot.
Yeah, we do have 3 more episodes. We got to do 6, 7, and 8, I think. I think we did 5.
Then yes, we will do those soon.
Yeah.
I can't believe we haven't done those.
Yeah, it's been almost a year. We should really...
Okay, so what will the Mando film be and what should it be? I just think it'll be like their own little side adventure. I don't necessarily think it'll be...
This is scary.
...a huge part of the bigger Mandoverse story. Like like you said, a contained adventure. That's what I think it'll be.
I mean, I think it'll be contained but important, I guess. Like...
Well, it's got Grogu in it. It's important.
I think it's going to build on what has happened so far, and it's going to be important to the story going forward. What's read the question again? Just like the wording of it.
What do we think it's going to be, and what should it be? A self-contained adventure or the first part of the big Mandoverse story? Mm. So, like, the first part of it all kind of coming together, converging into...
Yeah, I guess I kind of hope it's that big. Like, part of me worries that this is going to steal Dave Filoni's thunder a little bit, but...
Impossible.
I don't think...
I mean, he's producing it? Co-producing it?
Yeah. I don't think he has any problem with this happening, and I'm sure it's been in the works for a long time. I'm more just like, I talk about this on the Q&A, but I kind of wish they just had announced all of this differently. I doubt it was part of the plan back during Celebration, but I kind of wish that they had said like, hey, guess what? We're doing a movie. It's about the Mandalorian and Grogu, and people would have been like, oh, yay, a Star Wars movie again. And we love those guys. Mm-hmm. And so we would have been excited about that. And then they could have said, and we're going to build up to another movie released by Dave Filoni about, like, that's going to be the culminating thing of all of these shows. Mm-hmm. And we would have been hyped about that. And then they'd be like, and we're going to do Dawn of the Jedi, a New Jedi Order. And like, we'd be losing our minds. So it just seems like odd messaging to lay out like these 3 really big movies and then be like, also we're gonna sneak a Mando movie in first. It
does seem like a rushed decision, or like, yeah, kind of unplanned. I don't know,
but like if there is a season 4 in 2025 and it does build up to a big cinematic thing, then I'm like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
It's like, we just don't have the full picture right now, and I'm over here like getting anxiety about stuff that I shouldn't even be worrying about.
That's what Star Wars fans do.
How's this go?
Darth Nicholas has another super chat here. The Bad Batch Season 3 is by far my most hyped Star Wars project of 2024. How excited and or worried are you for it? And do you think they'll pull a Rogue One on everyone except Omega? Ooh.
No.
That would be tough.
No, I really don't think they will, and I hope they don't.
Yikes.
I'm not that worried about, like, I assume you mean how worried are we about the crew? I'm worried about Hauser. I'm worried about like the side clones.
I wouldn't be shocked if something happened to Hauser.
Don't say that. But because of what happened to Tech, I'm feeling like everyone else is safe. My fingers are crossed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, but I'm very excited for Bad Batch 3. Jennifer Corbett was kind of teasing that trailer the other day, and
yeah,
we're still waiting.
She is a big old tease on
still waiting, Jennifer.
social media. I'm very excited for Bad Batch season 3. I think it'll be great. I can say that I'm worried about just like the tech of it all, but I think they're gonna wrap it up in a really nice way with a bow on top. Like, I think it'll make sense. I think the direction has always been really well thought out and like just well done overall for this show. So I'm very excited for season 3. Yes, hashtag tech lives. I will never stop thinking
season 2 I thought was so good. Okay, here's something I'm worried about. Hope doesn't happen. I just want it to be on its own. I don't want it to overlap with the Acolyte or Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, when it overlapped with Mando, that was so hard.
It was hard
for us,
like for the channel, but it was also just like everything that happened on The Mandalorian overshadowed the Bad Batch. And it was like, but the Bad Batch is so freaking good.
It's not fair.
And Mando was good too. It was just that I wanted to be able to give both of them my full attention.
Right. The Holocron Records has the next super chat. Now that it has been completed, can you please go into why you did not enjoy the Dark Droids event?
I'll try. It just...
Is that the comics?
Yeah, so...
They talked about that at Comic-Con?
Yeah.
The, like, spooky one?
Yeah. The main comic of it, I didn't mind. It got really weird. But I didn't dislike the weirdness of it. Let me open this first. I'm sorry.
Rude. I'm gonna go to the bathroom while you're
okay.
doing this.
So, I do think part of it is just the placement of it all. It seems kind of odd to have this really major, like, droids everywhere just started killing everyone, and we're never going to talk about that ever again. Like, all right. The main comic I thought was pretty good, but the end was really rushed. Like, I feel like it could have gone for another couple issues, even though I wasn't really feeling it. I really liked everything they did surrounding the cyborgs. So like Magnetolvin, Valance. I thought that stuff was pretty cool. Oh, Lobot, like, added a lot of stakes. I guess I don't know. I just didn't really vibe with the story, I guess. It just got too weird for me. But I'm someone who's like, I would rather you just try some weird stuff every once in a while instead of constantly playing it safe. So I'm glad Charles Soule took a big old swing. It doesn't really affect anything going forward as far as my opinion of him. He's still my favorite comic writer right now. Star Wars issue 42 that came out this week, right? That rocked. So I guess I'm just glad to get things back to normal, but I don't know. I don't feel like I have a good solid understanding of why I didn't like it that much. It just didn't really interest me.
Fair enough. I did not read it. Not because I didn't want to. I just haven't been really keeping up with the comics like I probably should be.
Comics are kind of hit or miss for me in general. Just I don't know why, but it takes more for me to get into them. I don't know why, but the ones that I love, I really love, like Dr. Aphra. I dig the main High Republic Adventures. Those comics are a lot of fun.
Do you think they're just too short to hold your attention?
Yeah, like I think I might enjoy them more if I could binge them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember getting into the Walking Dead comics, and there were 100 of them out, and so I was just able to read them straight through. So maybe being able to read an entire arc at a time, I might like that more.
Mm. I lost my place.
Unacceptable.
Okay, I found it. Ryan K has the next super chat. What favorite movie of yours would you want to see remade in the Star Wars universe? I'd love to see a dumb comedy like Hot Rod or a space Spinal Tap. I need to catch up. I'm falling behind on questions. Remade in the Star Wars universe.
I would love to see them try to make something like Hot Rod in Star Wars. I do love that movie.
I do think a really off the wall silly comedy would be fun.
I don't know if it would work, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I want to see them try it.
Let's get something like The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
Like a R-rated buddy cop adventure.
I don't think they're ready to pull the trigger on an R rating yet.
Probably not.
But something
but they
like
could
that.
do it.
A buddy cop detective story.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a really interesting starting point.
That movie is so good. It's too good for what it is. It shouldn't be that good.
Shane Black makes good movies.
Yeah, I guess Andor would be close, but not quite.
No, that's not like The Nice Guys.
Like a detective, sort of.
That's
more like
sure, but
espionage.
Yeah, a spy thriller and a noir story, I would say, are different.
Darth Nicholas, thank you for the next super chat. Just like canon, I learned that Scorch also became an Imperial Commando in Legends after reading the Republic Commando series. Anyways, what are the chances Scorch will get a redemption arc in the Bad Batch Season 3? I'd say slim.
I hope the Commandos get... it'd be weird if all of the clones, not all of them, but many of them had a happy ending, but just all the clone Commandos are like, nope, they're the bad guys. It's like, but why? So I hope we learn a little more about them and their deal within the Empire.
Ooh. Deidre Russell sent us what?
Oh, I was just going to say, for chances of that, I'll go 30%.
Of him getting redeemed.
A redemption, yeah. I think he's more likely going to stay a baddie, but I hope for the 30%.
Sure. Deidre Russell said, have we ever considered an acrylic pour table to preserve your large Lego builds? I don't know if that would work.
I bet someone's done it before.
Would that melt the Legos?
Oh, I don't know how that works.
I don't either. Well, I guess I don't know if it's hot when you pour it in or how that works, but...
Are acrylic nails hot when they go on your fingies?
No, I guess not.
Okay.
I don't know. Have people done that?
I don't know. I assume so.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those types of like acrylic pour over things with Lego sets, but that'd be cool.
But no,
then it would never break.
That's true.
Darth Nicholas also says, I also recommend the Clone Wars comics from the Jedi One-Shot series and Obsession series written by John Ostrander and Hayden Blackman, respectively, both of which are also DH and tie
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse and tie into Republic.
That I keep saying it, but like I want to start getting back into Legends stuff this year, just because it's been so long since, like, I'm weirdly excited to read the Jedi Academy trilogy and get back to Kip Duron and the Sun Crusher and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the comics were something that I just didn't have access to as much as a kid. Like, my library and media play had Dark Empire and Crimson Empire and Shadows of the Empire, all the Empire comics apparently. But I didn't get to read a lot of the Legends comics growing up, and I would like to rectify that.
Oh, Sean knows about pouring acrylic stuff.
He would.
So we can talk to him about that.
Nerd.
Not sure it's enough to melt the Lego. I mean, I'm sure like a quick Google search could tell me like what the process is like, but to be honest, I don't know what we're gonna do with some of these big sets. Like when we get to a point where there's a set that like isn't our favorite and it's in the way, it just goes in the closet, never to be seen again.
Yep.
It's pretty sad.
Yep.
But
never you, don't worry.
We could always hang them from the ceiling. But Alex is afraid it'll fall.
On my head specifically.
Don't hang it over your head.
Well, I'm gonna be under it at some point.
It'll choose that point to fall.
You don't know. You're gonna feel real silly.
We could sell them
when you find me covered in Legos, bleeding.
We could sell them for charity. We could donate them to kids. We could do a lot of those things.
Yeah, I mean, taking them all apart and stuff and giving them away would be... I have some of the boxes. No, I don't. But we could just put them in containers. I have all the instructions.
Right, because I've tried to throw those away before and you
Molly
yelled at me.
Well, yeah, it was one of your sets too, but you were like going to throw the trash out. I was like, "What is that?"
It was my bonsai tree.
Yeah, but what if you need to build it again?
I'll figure it out.
No, you won't.
It'll be online. I can email
That's
customer
probably
service.
True. You probably could get it, but still. Insanity.
Okay. I am just not a Lego person. You know that.
I mean, you are more than you used to be, for sure.
Yeah, but like once I build it, I'm like, great. And I throw everything else away. If it breaks, I'm like, well, honestly, if it broke, I might just toss it. But if it was like a favorite set, I'm sure I could find the instructions online. Jane says, all instructions are available on the website forever.
Okay, Jane, fine.
Yes.
I'm still keeping my written ones.
That is a win for me.
Oh.
Eloasti has the next one here. Do you think hook 'em with a show and make a tie-in movie, quote in quotes, will become a common ongoing strategy? Oh boy.
Maybe. I mean, the streaming model is not working for a lot of these companies, so
I don't really believe in that sort of thing, because it's like, hook 'em with the movies. They've already done that. Like, you're a Star Wars fan, and then they're like, look at all this other stuff we're giving you. Shows, more movies based on other shows. So it's like, we're already hooked. I don't know.
Yeah, that's our perspective, but I could see it working for other people. I mean, like, I think my parents would be more interested in The Mandalorian and Grogu than Dawn of the Jedi.
I guess. I wouldn't be surprised though. Like it all depends.
Well, let's say this. If the movie does really well, then yes, it will become a common strategy.
That's what I was about to say. If this does really well for them, they will continue to do it.
Because that's what Hollywood does. They see, oh, Barbie made $1 billion? Get the Uno movie out. Like,
the Magic 8 Ball movie. Go, go,
like,
go.
That's not why... That's not why it made $1 billion. Just because people are hungry for toys. Like, no. We want good movies.
The Rubik's Cube movie is coming. They're going to have a whole Mattel multiverse.
Well, I did hear the Ouija board movie was not bad, so...
Well, I mean, that is a toy, but it's more about the seance aspect of, like, playing it and, like, being spooky. Caboose Resurrected, thank you for the next super chat. If there was an open world Star Wars MMORPG similar to TOR,
The Old Republic.
Oh. But you can choose your own customizable ship, vehicle, weapons, droids, etc. Would you dig it?
I think so. Part of my... I haven't gotten into The Old Republic, and I know it's out there, and I should just give it a shot one day. Part of me is like, it's been out for so long, I feel like I missed the boat, even though I know that's not true. But something brand new would pull me into it. Hopefully not too much to consume my life, but...
I don't have the attention span to play those kinds of games. I wish I did, honestly. Like, I wish I could just lose myself in a game like that for hours and hours, and just... Essentially, a game like that you can kind of play forever, but I can't. My attention span is like, I'm out after like half an hour.
Which is okay. Like, I think there's still stuff that you could do that wouldn't take that long,
but even just like, there have been games that I've played and really liked, and I just like am not a dedicated enough gamer, I guess, to like keep going back to them. That would be cool. Like, I would still want a game like that for the people out there who do like those kinds of games, you know, like, just because something like that doesn't exist that's made for me doesn't mean I don't want it. Because I think that would be cool if you could customize all that stuff. Like, that was the one thing about Baldur's Gate 3 that I was like,
you just want to make a character.
You could customize everything, and that part of it was really cool. It's just like the actual playing of it, I might get bored.
We should just do that. You should make the character, and then I'll play with it and get him into trouble.
Yeah. Kelchin has the next super chat. You all are like the most positive Star Wars channel. Why does it seem like most channels are negative with everything coming out? Well, you make more money that way, first of all. It's easy to get people's attention with like really negative thoughts and feelings, because like anger attracts more anger, but it also attracts people who want to change their mind, which will never happen. So that's just like the game of content creation.
I do think part of it is also, I think that's the majority of it, but I think part of it is like human psychology, and just we all like agree that we love Star Wars, but there's still something that we like, but here's what I would do to make it better for me.
Oh, sure.
So I think there's an element of that too, but yeah, I think it's mostly YouTube and the way its algorithm works. and it's terrible. So I've always remembered that, like, when we were getting the channel started and I was reading tips from YouTube and stuff, and they were like, the number one tip is to drive emotion, like make an emotional reaction in your viewers. And their examples were all like, make them laugh or give them something uplifting. And it's like, well, that's nice, but guess what the easiest emotions to bring out of someone are? Fear and anger.
Mm-hmm.
So
is curiosity an emotion?
I guess so. I don't know. Is it a state of mind?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a lot easier to make content that is angry and like super reactionary and like, here's what I hate about this. I think it's a little more difficult to find what you do like about stuff and talk about that, and also be constructive with your criticism and say that, like, I didn't love this part, but that's okay, it wasn't made for me, or that's okay, like, I love this other thing, but I'll still talk about this because some of my viewers loved it.
Yeah, it's easy to throw on a camera and just rant about what you're angry about.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't even really have a problem with, like, hey, if you didn't like a show or a thing or whatever, that's fine. But I start to really have a problem when someone tries to dictate someone else's fandom. Mm-hmm. And say, like, try to define what a true fan is. Like, that phrase boils my blood.
Yeah. Deidre Russell just sent a super chat in that said, Grogu in a tux, OMG. Right?
We all want it.
We
Make
all
it happen,
want it.
Disney.
We all need it. It's been a long 2023, 2024.
we all need this.
Is off to a weird start. We need to see Grogu in a little tux on all the late night shows. In that little chair.
That's
with
Jennifer Lando was
mug.
talking about that on Force Center, right?
Yeah.
To have, like, Pedro Pascal and Grogu on the press junket together, and Pedro just, like, listening to Grogu and says, like, he says hi.
I'm making a magic prayer circle right now that will happen. Elo Asti has the next super chat. Alex time travels to the past. Through hijinks, he misses the party where you first met. What's his strategy for making sure you two still fall in love?
Okay,
Ooh.
so
You wouldn't know how to find me.
I know your phone number.
You wouldn't have it.
Yeah, I would.
Not at that party.
If I went into the past, I'm assuming I have all my knowledge. Like, this scenario doesn't work if I don't even know you exist.
Okay.
So the hijinks are that, like, I guess I'm transported into my past self.
Okay.
And something gets messed up.
You cold call me?
Yeah, I just text you up. Back in 2007, before people even said that. But I'd be ahead of the game. So you'd be like, who is this?
Block the number. I mean, you would know who our mutual friends were,
Mm-hmm.
and you would just try
I honestly don't think it would be that hard.
to go to another party. You could find me at a couple of different parties back then.
Fortunately, I know Casey, and so I would just convince her to throw another party.
Yeah. But
I'd still do the you up thing.
the cold call would be interesting to see how that played out. Francisco Gios, thank you for the next super chat. I know I keep bringing up Rebel Moon. I watched it, and it wasn't the story that I was expecting. So I ask, what are your thoughts on it? I haven't seen it. Alex, do you care to share what your thoughts were?
Unfortunately, I didn't like it at all. It came out on a Thursday night. I woke up early on the following morning and watched it. I just thought it was boring. I don't know. And like I wanted to like it because I do like some Zack Snyder movies. I'm like, I know you have it in you to make a movie that I like.
It's there, I know it.
So I hope like his regular Snyder fans really dug it, but it wasn't for me. Just a lot of like,
I will not be watching it. Just it seemed kind of cool, but the more I read about it and then the more I read about other people watching it, I'm just not interested anymore. And that's okay.
Maybe I'll watch part 2. I might.
You might just out of a morbid curiosity.
Well, I'm like,
to see if it gets any better.
Maybe part 1 was just all build up. And I will say, okay, Anthony Hopkins as that robot that had like 3 minutes of screen time was great. Ed Skrein, he was the main villain, like kind of the Grand Moff Tarkin character. I really liked him. I thought he was just chewing up the scenery, and he was fun to watch. Charlie Hunnam's character surprised me. It's been out a couple weeks. I'll still try to avoid spoilers, but they leaned really hard into so many Star Wars things that I thought his character was going to go one direction, and it did not. So I was like, oh, that's a welcome surprise. I think that's about it.
I wish it was easier to do like watch alongs on a live stream, because like this seems like a good one to just like, if I wanted to watch it, just like go live and watch it with other people, just so I could like talk out my feelings as I watched it.
Well, that's what Sean and Zach just stayed up late and drank and watched it. It's like, if I didn't known they were doing that, I probably would have joined them.
Ronan Unchained, thank you for the next super chat. Hi, Alex and Molly. Hope this movie is simple and doesn't cost much. At max, make it like $100 million. It should be less, in my opinion. Probably one of Carson's first missions for them. Can't wait. TITW.
Now we're all silently trying to figure it.
I'm so bad at figuring out like letter.
This is the way.
Ah, okay.
That should have been easier for us to figure out.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you that I think that this is a good chance for them to be experimental with like, hey, what if we made a Star Wars movie that wasn't $300 million? Like, what if we made a movie that didn't have to make $1 billion to be justifiable? Like, yeah, The Creator was $80 million. It was awesome. It still didn't do well at the box office, unfortunately, but you can make a good looking movie on that kind of budget. So I think that this is a chance for them to try that.
Especially if they're not paying Pedro Pascal to be in it.
Right. Like,
if he's not showing his face.
There aren't any, like, Harrison Ford's not in this. And you don't have to pay him $20 million to be in the movie.
Right.
So I think that the cast that they have is more manageable.
Mm-hmm. Although Maddie Gunner says Grogu's salary alone is going to be $100 million.
I know, like, but that's the thing.
It's going to be like, pay up.
One of the main stars is a puppet. Like, this, it could work.
Darth Nicholas, thanks for the next super chat. Did you know there were elite clones, parentheses, covert ops clone troopers, who were tasked with executing clone deserters?
Oh God, I did not, and that's dark.
they appear in the Republic Commando True Colors.
That's sad.
That is, I don't think that would ever fly now. Like, well, maybe.
Watch out, Cut LaQuain. I mean, in the comics, I think...
I mean, the Bad Batch has done some kind of dark stuff, so...
Yeah, but they didn't have to hunt down their own brothers.
No. That's kind of cool, though. Calm Like a Bomb, thank you for being a Biggs Mega fan for 10 months. Have you watched Echo yet, and what did you think of it? Have not gotten around to that one yet.
I am interested.
It's short, isn't it?
5 episodes, I think.
Yeah, so maybe binge-worthy. I don't know if we could watch that like on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Or something.
I'm definitely down to check it out. I still need to watch Daredevil season 3 because after the Defenders show, I was just like, I didn't like the Defenders, so I just didn't go back to anything. But I've heard a lot of people say Daredevil season 3 is really good, and with Daredevil becoming more and more prominent, I'm like, okay, I should watch that. But yeah, Echo, I'm sure we'll watch it. Just haven't yet.
Well, if you didn't see Daredevil season 3, then I probably didn't either.
No, you definitely didn't. I know you did not. We're in the middle of our Avatar rewatch right now, trying to finish that up before the live action series.
Yeah.
Which we just finished season 2 last night.
LOST has another super chat. The sequel trilogy films cost on average $400 million each to make.
Right.
I think it's realistic to get that cost down so that they can make profits easier.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what we were just talking about. But yeah, easily.
I mean, it should be. We don't know how to make movies or what all goes into it, but that is a huge amount of money.
I think they will be able to do it for the Mandalorian movie.
If not, something else is wrong. Darth Nicholas, will the Bad Batch Season 3 explore the fate of the clone commandos? I assume the Empire will phase them out much later, unless they invent some age-reversing technology.
I'm kind of expecting them to do the fate of all clone kind. So yeah, I'm hopeful that they'll explore the clone commandos and not just the regular clones. I mean, I think Gregor's going to be in it, so there's one clone commando at least.
Nice. And Laserbolt made a good point about an earlier super chat. A lot of the assets already exist for the Mando movie.
Yeah.
So that should help.
That's true.
True. Like, they got all that stuff ready to go. The Holocron Records, thank you for the next super chat. The end of Dark Droids was indeed rushed, and the cyborg stuff was cool. Did almost 4 years straight of crossovers affect your opinion? It did for me.
Yeah, even though, like, I mostly liked War of the Bounty Hunters and the Kira trilogy. I thought Crimson Reign was good because it didn't really affect everything else. Dark Droids was more in line with War of the Bounty Hunters, where it was like really heavily a crossover. I thought Dr. Aphra handled it pretty well, though. At some points, I thought it was more important and impactful than the main Dark Droids comic. But yeah, I think I'm kind of ready for this era to wrap up, the year in between Empire and Jedi, and just hit refresh. Let's go somewhere new.
Laura sent a super chat in and said, do you remember your first Star Wars toy / collectible?
Yep. Do you?
I mean, unless I had something before that little foam disc gun thing, that's the first thing I really remember having, other than the VHS tapes. So my first thing is I had one of those little Millennium Falcon toys that had a trigger on it that shot the little foam discs, which I thought was pretty cool.
I thought those were cool. I should say I remember the first action figure that I bought, which to me, I guess, is my first collectible. My parents had stuff like the soundtrack on cassette tape, and they had their own stuff. But the first thing that I was like, this is for me, and I'm taking my allowance and I'm going to get it, was, I don't know if he's out here. He might be up there somewhere, but it was...
Was it Biggs?
No. But it was Luke Skywalker in the pilot uniform. They didn't have a Biggs in the action figure lineup
would
at
you
that
have,
point.
if they did, would it have been him instead at that time?
It would not. Because back then, like in the early days, I did not know who Biggs was. I didn't know he was like, oh, Luke's childhood friend. Like that all came with later research. But it was the orange flight suit, Luke Skywalker, Power of the Force line, and the red card stock. I just was obsessed with those pilot suits. I loved them.
Mm-hmm. Pretty iconic.
I think I got that, and then shortly after, I got a Boba Fett action figure, and I don't even know if I knew who he was. I just think I thought he looked cool, and I got a C-3PO because that was like everything on the board. I remember hunting for action figures. It was just like so many stormtroopers, and then like Luke and Boba Fett, and then 3PO, and I was like, I guess I'll get 3PO.
Those were like the most popular ones that were on the shelves.
Yeah, like it was really hard to actually collect all the action figures. I know we hunted for Yoda, Obi-Wan, Leia, Lando, and Luke, like big buff Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Those
buff Luke.
My mom has told me about how she'd be at a Toys R Us and she would like come across one and she would just buy it and save it for my birthday or Christmas and be like, I got one.
That's smart.
Yep.
She should have bought several of them.
Yeah.
Darth Nicholas also sent a super chat in saying covert ops clone troopers actually started out as exclusive action figures. They wear the gunmetal and purple armor. Ooh, I like that color scheme.
I was thinking about that the other day. I forget why. It was probably Star Wars related, but thinking about...
I hope so.
No. You'll hear where I'm going with this. I forget what led me to thinking about my friend who lived down the street, who I'm still good friends with, Chris. He had this huge collection of Batman action figures, and it was like yellow and black camo Batman, and like they were just like the wildest looking action figures, and it was like, hey, remember that time Batman went to space? Like, no. But we made an action figure out anyway.
It's like if Batman went to a football game and wore his favorite team's colors.
Yeah, like it was just, they used to make so many action figures, and I kind of miss those days.
Yeah.
Or like he also had a bunch of alien action figures, like the Xenomorphs, but they were just like crazy looking designs. So it was like standard alien, queen alien. This one's a cheetah.
Hip hop alien.
Yeah.
Skateboarding alien.
Yeah, Flava Flav alien. That was more like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't remember when we... I do remember actually talking about audiobooks much earlier, but JDP sent a super chat in. Thank you. Speaking of audiobooks, is it still correct to say that you read it, or do you say you listened to it? I think either one works. I personally, as an avid audiobook listener, I think it's fine to say either one. I try to listen and read at the same time, just because like that works for me in retaining the most information. But I think either one works.
Yeah, like I feel like you're just splitting hairs. You're like, you experienced the same story. If anyone comes at you and is like, "Oh, you listened to it," like, okay,
yeah, I can multitask.
who cares? Like, I know everything that you know. The end result is the same.
Yeah.
So it's just whatever you prefer.
Right.
It's just gonna bring me back to gatekeeping and how much I hate it.
And Deidre Russell says, I want to watch trash TV in universe. Soaps, sitcoms?
I mean, they exist. They've talked about some of them before.
That would be pretty cool, though, if like, what if the next holiday special is that? It's like Love is Blind in universe holiday edition. Or like, oh, like the, like, Bake Off.
Oh my God.
They could bring Gourmanda back.
I mean, we've talked about that before with
Yeah.
Paul Coruscant and stuff, but
Yeah.
if they actually did that, well, I'd be all over it.
And Ice, thank you for the super chat. Happy New Year. Hope you both are well. The movie announcement was surprising, but I'm glad to have another coming despite some initial concerns. Happy New Year.
I think we're in a very similar space where I'm. Oh, that's where that goes. I'm overall like great. Another Star Wars movie. I am excited. But yeah, I do have some concerns, but it's all good.
Mm-hmm. And then a very generous super chat from S288. Thank you so much. If you were to tell the story of Star Wars like C-3PO and the Ewoks around a campfire to people who've never heard of Star Wars, would you prefer props from your collection or leave it entirely up to the imagination? Love you guys. Keep up the good work.
First of all, thank you for the very generous super chat. You immediately made me think of Reign of Fire. Have you seen that movie? Christian Bale, Matthew McConaughey, Gerard Butler's in it for a little bit.
Mm-mm.
About dragons.
Wait, about dragons?
Uh-huh.
Maybe I have. If it's got dragons in it, I might have seen it.
It was like early 2000s, I think.
Reign of Fire. Wait, that doesn't have the talking dragon in it, does it?
No, that's Dragonheart.
Oh, I love that movie.
I do too.
It's so sad.
Yeah, Dragonheart's great. But all that to say, they're in like a post-apocalyptic world, and they're entertaining the children, and they're acting out Star Wars together. So Christian Bale and his best friend Gerard Butler, their characters are...
In this movie, they're acting out Star Wars?
Yeah, because the world is like gone to crap.
Oh,
Dragons took over.
Sure.
So they're like performing the I am your father scene. That's what it made me think of. So I think I would do it like them, leave the props out. The imagination seemed to work fine for those kids.
I mean, the abilities of children's imaginations, like, there are almost no limits to that. So no, I would not use any props or anything. I would want them to just imagine for themselves, or try to imagine for themselves. If they asked specific questions like, what did it look like, I might say, well, what do you think it looked like? And, like, try to get them to imagine it for themselves. But I wouldn't withhold information from them. But I think it would be cool if I were one of those kids to, like, hear a story like that and just think of it in my head for myself and what it would look like. I think that would be a unique experience and, like, situation to be in. So that would be cool.
I agree.
I've seen people do that. Like, I'll see random TikToks of people interviewing kids just to, like, see what kind of funny stuff they say. And it's like, they'll ask a question and the person will be like, well, what do you think? And almost always the kid is like, well, I have thoughts.
Put on the half of the bottom plating.
Yay! So, like, kids' imaginations are pretty powerful.
And we're done with book 2.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna catch up on these questions and then we are gonna go eat dinner. Adam Torsk has the next one. Hey, Alex and Molly, you guys are awesome and the best Star Wars channel. Oh,
Thanks, Adam.
keep up the great work, you guys. Thank you. I don't know if we're the best.
I'm just gonna sit here and be sassy.
Uh-huh.
Nah, Force Center's my favorite.
Yeah, they're the best, honestly. Ice, thank you for another super chat. Interested to learn more, and I'm really excited for Ahsoka Season 2. It's not shocking, but it's a relief to have it confirmed. I hope the story will be split between Peridia and Ezra and Hera in the main galaxy.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what the format is, or the structure is. Like, I think they will probably still jump back and forth, but they could do it so that it's like, nope, this is all Ahsoka, Sabine, Baylan, and Shin.
Well, I kind of want a split of that, but I want an equal part on Dathomir. I want to know what's going on over there.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if they're going to explore that in other stuff or if they're going to save it all for Ahsoka.
And Scotty Heron, thanks for being a Biggs mega fan for 6 months. Maybe this is poking a bee's nest that maybe shouldn't be poked, but got any hot takes on the recent deepfake Luke / heir to the Empire kerfuffle? Deepfake Luke.
That was when Mark Hamill tweeted about that thing.
Oh. I mean, I'm not a fan of AI deepfake stuff, period. So yeah. I don't want it. I don't like it.
I think Mark has no real opinion on it, and it, like things do, blew up into something that was far bigger than it should have been.
Yeah. Someone like Mark Hamill just like replies to to tweets like my mom texts me back. I texted my mom Happy New Year and she texted me back, "Yep, I'm still here." I was like, "Thanks, Mom. Love you too."
Yeah. Like, Mark doesn't watch Star Wars YouTube. Someone asked him a question. He answered.
He said no, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's really our best hot take on that. And Deidre Russell sent another super chat in. Thank you so much, Deidre. Get C-3PO evaluated by Antiques Roadshow.
That's not trash TV. That's
would be
straight up gold.
Hella interesting, actually.
Yeah.
He would. But
Maz Kanata brings in like a wheelbarrow full of stuff.
Is he on though to argue with them? Because I'm sure he thinks he's worth a lot more. He's like, "Do you know who built me?"
By the end of it, I hope he's the host. Like, I think he would be a great appraiser.
Oh yeah, they'd be like, "You know what? You got a job."
Yeah, but I mean, he should be pretty valuable. Yeah. Rebuilt by Anakin Skywalker, covered in gold, a hero of the Rebellion and the New Republic and the Resistance. Yeah, that's a valuable droid.
Yeah. He isn't a gold medal, he is the gold medal. Mic drop. And with that, we're going to end the LEGO live stream for today.
First one of the year.
Feels good to be back. This thing is just getting bigger and bigger. I don't know how we're going to fit it all on the table once you start putting weight on this end. This is really far to the edge here. But we'll figure it out. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out. Thank you so much to everyone who are members of the channel and everyone who sent in super chats. We really appreciate it. And you guys are awesome. So we'll see you again same time next week.
Yep.
Yeah. We're back to Thursdays at 6 Eastern for the time being until something messes that up.
I think in 2 weeks we're going to be busy on Thursday, so we'll do that on Wednesday instead or something. But that's 2 weeks from now.
Okay. Oh, is that when we're going to go see
RRR
again?
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot about that. But yeah, thank you guys again. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.